Hello, this is D, and you're watching The Red Zone, an online show about Magic the Gathering strategies, decks, and matches. And today we're going to be covering what I consider the best deck in Standard right now, which is Faeries. And if you've played a lot in Standard, you've probably been beaten a lot by Faeries. I know I have. And so I realized, well, if you can't beat them, join them, right? And so I've started to play Faeries and realized that it is very powerful. Doesn't have a lot of really bad matchups. In fact, I can't think of really any except maybe a dedicated red deck with Grape Shots and Sulfurous Blast. But other than that, most of your games are not going to be. Most of your matches are not going to be bad matchups. You'll have a winnable matchup. And Faeries is hard to play against because most of your cards have flash or are instants. So this is just a quick analysis, and I'll just look at each of the cards and show you how the deck works. And if you've been losing to Faeries, you might just give it a try and join the Faeries bandwagon. Alright, so here's the cards that I've been playing. I'll go through each of them. Actually, I won't go through each of the lands, of course. They're pretty self-explanatory, but let's just go right to it. The creatures, Mistbind Click is really good creature. I really like playing it during the upkeep, during my opponent's upkeep, and it's a mana short for 1 extra mana, and you get a 4/4 body onto it. So that's a pretty good deal. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, well, you got to champion a fairy, but you have, let's see here, the deck I'm playing has, just looking through it, 16, 17, 21 fairies, not including the lands that can be fairies. So that's so 21 plus 7, 28 fairies. So it's not going to be hard to champion a fairy with Mistbind Click. Also, remember that Bitter Blossom, probably the strongest card in this deck, makes fairy tokens, so those can be championed, of course. So that's Mistbind Click. Here's Scion of Una. And this is very annoying, will be very annoying to your opponent. Why? Because not only does it make your fairies bigger, but it has flash, but the most important thing is your fairies get shroud. So most importantly, it shrouds your Bitter Blossom. So if they try to play Oblivion Ring and target the Bitter Blossom, you can, in response, play out a Scion of Una. So it gives you a huge tempo boost. Okay, next we got Spell Stutter Sprite, which is another card that will be annoying to your opponent. With the 28 fairies that I talked about, you can counter pretty much anything. Early game you can counter a lot, and then in late game you can counter big stuff, even a Cloud Thresher, because you're going to have a lot of fairies on the board. Here's Sower of Temptation. I only play 2 of these because some decks don't have a lot of creatures that you want to steal. Another reason why I only play 2 is because it doesn't have flash. You can only play it at sorcery speed. But it's a really good card because you can steal a creature, and you have enough counter spells to protect it against most decks. Some decks play a lot of removal, like red decks, so you'll want to board out Sower of Temptation in those matches. Another reason to play only 2. But in many, like Merfolk, I played against Merfolk the other day, and Sower of Temptation, they had Lord of Atlantis out. I stole one of their Merfolk, and so I had an Island Walker on my team, and they don't have any removal in game 1, and oftentimes in game 2 they don't have removal in their sideboard. So Pestermite, this used to be a 3 or 4 of, but I only play one because, well, the next card that took its place, as you'll see. But this is still, I play one, still a good card. Helps you when you're racing. You can tap their guys. Also, if you get this early, you don't have a counter spell, you can slow them down by playing it during their upkeep to tap a land. And okay, this is Vendilion Click. This is why I play only one Pestermite. I play two of these guys. Um, you could play more, but they are legendary, so that's why I only play two. And the reason these guys are good is because you can play it during their draw phase and take out their best card. So I think it's a little stronger than Pestermite. Pestermite just taps, but this guy gets rid of their best card in their hand.